Just getting everything going, folks, in the background. That's all I'm doing. You know the routine. Got to start the stream. Got to take my pajamas off. Got to heat up the coffee a little bit. You know the deal. Set the clock, definitely. Time dot is. That's what you mean, TJ? Time dot is? Absolutely, if that's what you mean. You bet. I need to remind everybody of that. Okay, we're almost there. We're streaming. The stream has started. Today is the last day of our challenge. I think the first class was pretty good. It started so-so and then it got good. That's how I felt about the class. I mean, I can tell when I do a good job or not do a good job, and I definitely can tell, how I feel about how I did. Not that I'm being judged, but what I mean is whether I did a good job of educating. And I thought that the beginning was so-so, but then it got good. That's how I felt about it. I'm just posting the link for today's class. It's never too late. Class 2 should be good. Should be the best class. Watching gold, getting ready for gold to do a magnet, I believe. I believe gold's going to make a new high. It's up $47, right? Gold is up 47 bucks. Just looking at gold. On a longer time frame chart. It's been choppy, but bullish choppy. Definitely bullish choppy. Back over 5,000. Just a little while ago.
Secured overnight financing
That
rate
might be
three
a
spot
comment.
six seven
So I
percent
have a
February
theory.
19th
Let me tell you what
versus
my
three spot
theory is
seven
for
three percent
today.
February 18th.
So I just want to be clear. Today's reports, it's a collection of some of the most difficult, inconsistent reports that we've seen in a very long time. Part of the problem is the government shutdown. It has created inconsistent news releases. Let me start the room, and then we'll get into it. But I have something I believe is going to happen here today. I think it's insider trading, and I can remind me to tell you what I think is insider trading. And I'm tempted to take a trade based on it. I'll explain in a minute. Let me just start the room. So we've got also, because of the government shutdown, you've also got reports that are still trading together that don't normally trade together on days they don't normally trade. Today is one of those days. When's the last time you saw GDP with the PCE price index? It's not very often. Just not very often. Which one is more important? The PCE price index, that's pretty important. That's inflation. But I would say GDP is more important. Wouldn't you? I think GDP is more important. Okay, let's, start the room. And let me do a test of our trade room software also. Man, am I glad it's Friday. I am so ready. I thought I was ready last week for Friday. This week, I'm really ready. Although I'm feeling a lot better than I felt last week at Friday. I was beaten to a pulp. Welcome to the Pro Trade Room Plus Advanced GDP PCE Price Index. My name is Lee Goldstein, the Trading Director for 10-Minute Trades. Please remember, all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. All right. So here's what I think. I think that we've got some insider trading tip-off. Trump is complaining on Truth Social that the Dems, because they caused the shutdown, GDP is lousy. It hurts GDP. So everybody knows the president gets the numbers of the reports early. And obviously, there is no data integrity anymore in terms of the news. Previously, the jobs report data was discussed before the jobs report on Truth Social. And this commentary that it's the Dems' fault that GDP is lousy makes me think that we're going to have a bad GDP report today. So if gold were going to behave properly, and this is why it's difficult, even with insider trading information, to know what the right thing to do is. You don't always know for sure that the market's going to respond the right way to the data. Look at what happens with oil. A lot of times oil doesn't respond in the direction you think it's supposed to go when there's a build or a drawdown. But assuming that the GDP is going to be bad, then I would anticipate the MNQ would go down, gold would go up. Gold already is up on the day, and the indexes would go up and gold would go down. Go, reverse that. The indexes would go down, gold would go up. So if you want to trade on insider information, right? Trading on insider information. Uh, a few minutes ago, Trump was complaining. Uh, the Democratic shutdown. The shutdown cost the U.S. at least 2 points in GDP. So I believe GDP is going to be worse than expected. That's my guess. So how could you take advantage of that? And TJ, I like that magnet. TJ has a gold magnet on. I think everybody should take one prop account, and this Langford and I were talking about it yesterday. Have a account for magnets. Have an account. Let's say you have a couple of prop accounts, and when they have a sale, what better time than to get a prop account? 89% like now or 91% is real good. It's good times to add if you like Bullinox and you can deal with rhythmic, it's cheap to have an eval. Um, but you could dedicate one eval account to magnets, one to opens, like maybe you do an RTY open account. You follow what I'm saying? That's, in my opinion, how you can really figure out if your systems are working. But I'm just going to talk for 1 minute and then we'll get into the setups. The psychology of prop trading. The truth is, um, they are set up for us to fail. They want us to fail. They do everything in their power to make us fail. It's not that they're bad people. They're not bad people. They're capitalists. They're just making money the way they want to make money. It's human nature when you can trade someone else's funds to do things crazily. So they just take advantage of our human nature. If you could control yourself, and I can't tell you how many times I have to say this, if you can control yourself, then you have a possibility of taking funds out of prop trading. But if you succumb to what most traders succumb to, sloppy, careless, you only live once constant trading, then you're just going to destroy accounts and you'll be an eval trader forever. On the other side of the coin, if you uh, if you dedicate an account to strategies that are working and stick with it, no random scalping, you know what I mean? No of that eval trading. Do your random scalping in your eval trading. Um, but you understand. I think everybody understands what I'm saying. So I'm just saying right now about GDP. I think GDP will be lower than expected. Um, I'm tempted to just throw an MNQ on one contract short on a prop account I don't use that much. So maybe I'll do that just for fun. See if my theory comes to play. So let me open an extra chart. Let me open an extra chart. Just curious about something. Curious. I wish I knew more about Ninja than I know. So you open a new chart by just putting your cursor at the bottom left of the chart where the name of the instrument is. Right click it and open in a new window, and that duplicates a new chart. So I'm going to take one of my crazy prop accounts that I never trade in, that I trade very little in, and I'm just going to take a short, one short on the MNQ. Just want to make sure I have the right account. I hope I'm in the right account. I'm not even going to watch it. We're not watching it. So I'm going to just set up a reverse continue. All right. I still want to have stops and targets, right? Reverse and continue. Just one position. I'm just testing my theory of insider trading. If I use a 500 tick stop, that's $250 of risk. It's 50 cents a tick. So it would be $500 if it was $1 a tick, right? Am I thinking right? And we'll do a 300 tick target. Okay? 300 tick target. So I, you know, I've never had that problem in an eval. Excuse me, TJ. I have some evals that just sit, excuse me, and I don't trade them very often. I have too many accounts. I have a few too many accounts right now because I've let some that were busted rebill. But I've not had a problem with that. I've had issues where if I didn't use my master account or trade it, that I got warned they were going to shut it down. What did I say? Account 30 on this. Now, probably you wouldn't do this. I mean, you might do this in cash if you had a lot of money in an account and you didn't care if you lost a couple of $100. No, I want to do this in number 29, not in 30. 29. Just one contract short. That's all I'm doing. One contract short. And I'm going in now. I'm going to take the short now. Now, it might be stupid. This might be stupid, but I'm going, it's an insider trade. I would never trade this way in a cash account. I just wouldn't. This is just fun. We're just having some crazy fun. That's all I'm doing. Having a little bit of fun. Okay? That's all I'm doing. Now, maybe the smart thing to do is wait. Let's wait and put the trade on later as we get closer. Please remind me to do this. I suppose I could have done it as a timed trade so I don't forget. Somebody remind me. I should set my alarm. I have no sound coming from me at all, TJ. It's really quiet in here. Really quiet. What kind of sound are you hearing? All right, everyone. Let's look at the DMM. No, I don't even have anything on barely in the background. Nothing. That's weird. It's very quiet. My office is silent. Did anybody trade the overnight? Looked to me like France was a good trap trade. Should have filled 13 on a tier, and it did a decent reversal. Germany, not as good, but it should not have been a loss, at least as far as I could see. Now, I only did a very quick look. Now, I'm going to trade the gold breakout on GDP. It's the only setup we have. Um, I would have been more open to trading it before the Truth Social commentary. I think that might change things. I know that this report is extremely risky because personal income and the PCE price index is mixed in. So we don't have normal report trading. So you don't have the typical normal testing. So I'll trade one contract on gold. Obviously, I'll use a prop account. And these are the most difficult reports this morning in terms of behavior. Some of them have been very small movers, but I do think because of the kind of news we're expecting, I think GDP is going to move the market. That's what I really think. So we do have a gold breakout because that's what's been testing well on GDP. There hasn't been very much else as of late that has tested well on GDP. I know that's hard to believe, but that is the truth. It really is the truth. I want to start from scratch. So I'm not trading a gold magnet right now. I might put it on the chart, so I'll leave that there. News Trader Gold, reverse continue, one contract, 35 and 35, 35 target, 35 stop. Francis, I'm surprised you didn't get filled. It looked to me like it should have filled. We'll talk about it in a minute. We'll talk about it in a minute. The brackets, and we made the tiers smaller. We even made them smaller. All right, we've got 35 and 35 on the reverse continue. Let me double check which prop account I'm going to trade in Gonna label it GC reverse continue. Let me just look at my accounts. Some of the accounts are doing very nicely. Like 38 is doing very nicely. I think today is a tough day. I think today is a tough day. So I'm going to trade 37 this morning, which is almost at break even. And let's see if we could work on 37 today. I'll do most of my trades on 37. I think this magnet is going to take place on gold. I think the news is what's going to be the impetus. If I'm right about this insider trading, that's going to push gold up. It's going to be bad news. So 37 is the account, and GC reverse continue. We've got a reverse continue. And then we have a one contract breakout. Going to trigger at 8. And gold breakouts with PC price index and GDP. It's extra risk because of a possible whipping on double report action. Okay. Bracket is 30. It's a pretty decent sized bracket for these reports. Just going to trade one position though, because I don't want to blow up the account on one trade this morning. One position, but I'm going to go for a 50 tick target. The stop is 35. If the market moves 35 ticks in my favor, let's say 30 ticks in our favor, move to 20, break even plus 20. So if we get a decent move, we'll try to protect 20 ticks. We'll label it GC breakout. Just one contract, because I do think there is whip potential. And what did we say?
EU Trade Commissioner Šefčovič, speaking in Cyprus, says the EU's China trade imbalance is not
and
sustainable
before we
long
do
term.
38, let's check our bracket by setting the time to 0. With the charts on sim, with the vertical line off, show vertical line on entry is off.
So in 10 minutes time now, at the bottom of the hour, we do get the US PCE price index data for December. Year over year, forecast 2.8% unchanged from the prior, with a range of 2.9 to 2.6% expected. Month over month, forecast 0.3% on the prior 0.2, with a range of 0.4 to 0.2% expected. Core
bracket
PCE
of 30,
year over
one
year,
position with a
2.9%
target of 50
from the prior 2.8, with a range of 3.1% to 2.7% expected.
Right. If the
and
market
core month over
moves
month,
30 ticks in our favor,
0.3% from the prior
stop
0.2,
goes to
with a
break
range of
even plus
0.4 to
20.
0% expected.
Trading it
With
in
this report, we get
account number
consumer spending month over
38,
month
we
for
said.
December, forecast at 0.3% on the prior 0.5, with a range of 0.5 to 0.1%
Chart trader goes
expected.
to account.
We'd also get the
account
US
38.
GDP Q4 advanced report as well. GDP quarter over quarter,
And we're
forecast at
ready on our
2.8%
gold
from the prior
breakout.
4.4,
I
with
don't
ranges
have
of
any other
4.2%
setups.
to 1.5%
All right, I have
expected.
no other
The GDP
setups
price index, forecast 2.8% from the prior
on this
3.8.
report.
Core PCE prices
We did
advanced
not
quarter
like
on quarter,
RTY. We did
forecast
not like
2.6%
YM
from
as
the
of
prior
late. As of
2.9.
late,
Personal
they've
income
had
month over month,
decent
forecast
times,
0.3% on the prior
but
0.3. And real personal
RTY
consumption,
in
forecast
January was
0.1% from
poor.
the
It
prior
wasn't good in
0.3.
November. MNQ was
Data
not
from
good in
Canada as well at
December. It
the
was
bottom of the
not
hour.
good
The
in
Canadian retail
January.
sales month over month for December forecast minus 0.5% on the prior
On GDP.
1.3%,
Okay.
with a range of 0.3 to minus
Throwing the PCE
0.5%
price
expected.
index complicates things. BJ, one of the reasons I like trading magnets with micro gold is you could have your stop under the VWAP, which you can't afford to do probably. I'm not sure you can afford to do that with full size gold. 36 because it's 10, $12. You know, it's 100 ticks. It's too much. It's way too much risk for a magnet. Micros, you could put your stop below the VWAP. It's still, you could lose $500, but it is the proper place, in my opinion, for a stop. As often as possible, I want my stop below the VWAP because the market has to work hard to ruin that trade if the stop is big and in a good place of structure, right? It's about structure. Now, we did have a magnet if you want to look at signals, which I love looking at signals because I'm on regular gold. It's hard to trade. Regular gold magnet with the amount of risk right now. So I'm just going to watch signals. Also, with micros, I'm going to enter a lot earlier. I'm going to take a lot more risk for a lot more profit also. Now, I could do my MNQ trade on this MNQ chart. Probably makes more sense. So we can get rid of this MNQ, the insider trading chart, right? Make things less confusing. And this is now our insider trading chart. And look, I know you might think I'm crazy. This might be crazy. There's been a whole bunch of times where Trump has said something before a news event, and if you traded on what he said, you made a lot of money. Some of it was clear what to do. All right. Some of it was clear what to do. Oh, what account did I say I was trading it in? 29, I think. We'll double check that. And it'll be called MNQ Insider. Oop. I think that one was already here. I hope that one was already here. Oh, I got to do it again. Let's do it again. One more time. Wake up. Wake
In
up.
5 minutes time now at the bottom
Got
of the
five
hour, we get
minutes.
the US
Reverse
PCE
continue.
price
Just
index
one
report for
position.
December.
Looking for,
Forecast year over
might as
year,
well put 400
2.8%
ticks
on
on
the
it.
prior 2.8, with a
Stop is
range of
500. So
2.9% to
that's 50
2.6%
cents a
expected.
tick,
Month over month,
right?
forecast
So that's half
0.3%
of
on the prior 0.2,
$500.
with a range of 0.4% to 0.2% expected. Core PCE year over year, forecast 2.9% from the prior 2.8, with a range of
And my
3.1%
brain
to
is dead.
2.7% expected. And core PCE month over month, forecast 0.3% from the prior 0.2, with a
29
range of
should
0.4
be the
to
right
0%
account.
expected. US consumer spending month over month,
29.
forecast
Let's
0.3%
label
from
it.
the prior 0.5, with a range of 0.5 to 0.1% expected. Personal income month over month, forecast 0.3% on the prior 0.3. Real personal consumption month over month, forecast 0.1% on the prior 0.3. We'd also get the US GDP report. This is the Q4 advance read, quarter over quarter,
Now,
forecast at
clearly the
2.8%
PCE
from the prior
price
4.4, with a
changes
range of
everything on
4.2
this
to
report.
1.5%
So it might
expected. The
make
price index forecast at
my whole
2.8% from the
concept
prior 3.8, and the
untenable,
core
right?
PCE
My
prices linked to the
concept
GDP report
may not
forecast
really
at
be working here.
2.6% from the prior 2.9. Keep in mind, we'd also get a Canadian data at the bottom of the hour. Retail sales month over month forecast minus 0.5% from the prior 1.3. Range of 0.3 to minus 0.5%. And also the Canadian PPI data for January. Month over month forecast 0.15% on the prior minus 0.6.
I'm in the trade. Now, interestingly, I'm going to put my stop above the high of the day. So I'm not paying attention to this MNQ trade. This is a insider trading trade. That's all it is. I'm expecting after GDP for the market to go down. If it goes up, I'm wrong and I'm going to lose money. The gold breakout bracket is 30. The gold breakout bracket is 30. The stop was 35. I was using one position with a target of 50. If the market moves 30 ticks, I was moving my stop to 20. Now, on a day when you have reports that are trading very strangely, you certainly can just look for trades after the news. And going forward, we might do more of that rather than less of that. Like today is that kind of day where if GDP was trading by itself, that's where our gold breakout tested well. There's no way to have a great set of testing, GDP and PCE price index. They don't happen together
1 minute
enough
remaining. I'll lead with
that you
US
could come up with
PCE
testing.
year over year.
So that's part of the issues that we're dealing with. So when you're faced with that, what would make more sense would be don't try to thread a needle, just trade it after the news. So going forward, I'm really seriously thinking of doing it much, much more than we've been doing it.
Ten seconds.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Not a very good move. So
Order
I think,
filled.
yeah, so just a crappy
month over month,
US,
0.4%,
crappy gold move. That's what I'm always worried about with these gold breakouts with two reports.
month over month at 0.4%,
With two reports. And you think about we had a perfect jobs report on gold. Now, my trade makes no sense, folks. So I'm just going to take a profit.
Lower than forecast 2.8%.
Wait, I'll try to get a profit at the low or close to the low.
Canadian core retail sales.
Order filled.
All right, I'll take a small winning trade in that account. Now, oh, I missed a number. I missed a number. I missed a number. The GDP is lousy. I didn't see that. I didn't see that. So I think the GDP is lower than expected. It's lower than expected. Hang on.
So looking to the markets here, mainly whipsawing in the
Bear
dollar,
with me.
not much of a move here, but some weakness coming through in the S&P 500.
Yeah,
So to
I think
recap
that
then,
the number is
PCE numbers
lower.
coming in broadly higher than expected,
What
with
I
GDP quarter
saw
over
is
quarter
this
coming in
number
lower
was
than the
missing.
expected,
I
and
didn't
also
see
the
it on my
inflation
feed,
component of
the
the GDP report
1.4. I
also
saw the
coming in
year over
higher than
year,
expected. So again, just seeing
and
some
I saw
weakness coming
everything
through in the
else
S&P
green.
500 here. A
So
little bit of
I
strength starting
took
to
a
come through in
smaller
the dollar
profit
as
because I
well.
thought that my idea was wrong. And my idea was right. It did. I mean, I think my idea was right. There's no way to know for sure. And gold, I'm really thinking going forward to really limit the gold breakouts when there's multiple reports that don't trade together normally. That's what I'm thinking. All right, that's what I'm thinking. I just don't want to struggle with these results, honestly. I mean, I just don't want to. Now I have to struggle to work on this prop account today to get the money back. All right. It could have been wait for the news. Now, I don't think I would have had an
Key
after the
priorities
news
here,
trade
consumer spending for
on
our
this
revised
particular
DAX of
news right now,
0.4%,
to be
falling
honest.
0.5%.
But maybe a test of the VWAP. But I'm not dying
US
to do
personal
a
income
VWAP
revised
test
down
because
to
gold is
2.4%
still
from
very
2.3%.
bullish.
So that's revised up.
It is very bullish.
We have posted the
I think
reports,
the
US
test of the
GDP
VWAP,
Q4, consumer
obviously, it
spending
just
December,
worked.
and the Canadian
But
December
you're
retail sales
fighting a
results as
pretty
well.
strong downward trend. So
S&P 500 continuing to
it
lose
didn't
ground here, down
break the
around
VWAP either
0.2%.
yet.
The dollar per the
It
DIX
has
declined
not
0.1%,
broken the
was
VWAP
flat
yet.
for the release.
My idea on the NQ looks like it might have worked. Now, was it ironically? Well, look, so folks, here's why everything worked. Even though this is all green, it's not good news. The PCE price index is worse than expected, and GDP was worse than expected. So I missed a number, and I want to look at the video to see if I didn't see it. If I didn't see it. So let's look at the video for a second, and then we'll stick around for oil. We'll stick around for oil. Market open. We have a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to trade that prop account and try to get that money back. That's my goal, to get that money back. Now,
So to the futures, S&P
I
500
just
down
want to
around
see
spot
something.
3%, Nasdaq 100 down spot 4,
Hang on.
Dow down spot 2. Germany's 10-year government bond yield little changed after the US data, last down 1 basis point at 2.73%.
I'm looking at something. Wait 1 second. $50.37.70. It's 5 ticks away from the VWAP. So there would not have been a signal there. And we didn't get a momentum signal either yet. So, okay. I just checking signals is all I'm doing. All right. All right. So next thing, I want to look at the video real quick. I want to see the mistake that I made. I want to see if it was just me missing the news or if I had the information not, I wasn't looking at it. I want to see why I made the mistake. I'm trying to learn from everything that I do. I don't care if I'm 100 years old. I'm always trying to learn from everything that I do. And I recommend that everybody do the same. If you have something that doesn't work or you do something that you think you shouldn't have done, try to figure out why you did it. so that the next time you don't do it and you put it in your journal so you know what happened. So I'm saving the video, advanced GDP, PCE price. See, what I'm saying, Nitin, is you can't really count on your previous testing.
So short-term
Now, if
US
you
futures saw
saw your
little change after the
GDP, I
economic
mean, look,
data.
GDP
Traders sticking
moves on
to June
NQ,
Fed rate cut bets.
but they don't trade together. So it's just very difficult to know what the settings should be. But who am I to argue? Advanced GDP, PCE price, today's date. All I want to see is if we can see on the video, if I just didn't read the chart. Welcome to the Pro Trader the data. Plus, advanced GDP. So, no, folks, I just missed it. It was there. I just missed it. I was looking winning trade. I don't know why I missed it. Very honestly, I just missed the info. I missed a number. So it was my mistake. I had every reason to stay in that short. Every reason to stay in that short. I don't know if my theory was right, but we'll do it again. Definitely we'll do it again. When there's commentary made on Truth Social right before a major report, we'll put on a micro trade to take advantage of the commentary. I don't know, Nitin. I don't know if I agree with that. I really don't. GDP is way more sexy, way more attention paid to it. People don't even know what that price index is. But I understand what you're saying. It may be more important to the Fed. It may be more important to the Fed. Calvin, they say that every day. All right, so now we have work to do before the open. Let's look at our schedule. Let's put our video back on. And I'll keep streaming for a while on YouTube. What the heck? And let me just announce this room. What is this room? It's not, I guess it's oil open. Market opens. And flash manufacturing. So. Francis, I wanted to talk about your trades last night too. So give me a second. Welcome everyone to the Pro Trader Room Plus, the Oil Open, the US Open, Flash Manufacturing, and Revise University of Michigan. My name is Lee Goldstein, the Trading Director for 10-Minute Trades. Please remember, all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. All right, so I'm going to work on account number 37 on this morning's trading. And we don't have any official news until 9:45. We've got flash manufacturing. All right. We have the oil open at the moment. We've got the oil open. So first thing we need to change our chart, CL 0426. If you don't know what the contract is, you can type on a blank spot of the chart, blank spot on the chart. Start typing the prefix. Just type CL, which we know is the prefix. And then look down for the future. Notice how it says all future index. If you just put it on future, it'll only return futures with CL in the name. If you have all, obviously it'll give you stocks, etc., indexes. Okay. So we're on oil, double click it, and generally NinjaTrader will put you on the correct instrument. Okay, Francis, that's what did it. Francis, you would not have gotten filled, Francis, if you didn't. Yeah, yep, yep, yep. So I understand. I mean, that's the way to do a trap and reduce risk. But they're not good moving trades. So you kind of shot yourself in the foot on those, right? Because they're not good movers, the odds of getting filled on the second tier were very low. Um, but I understand it. I mean, we talk about, what's the worst thing that happens on a trap trade, and you are trading cash. So, and you're making money. So you got to do what you got to do. It's just that simple. In this particular case, maybe you shot yourself in the foot a little bit just based on the behavior of the way those flash trades have been moving. That's all. But had you done tier one, it would have filled. And France was a much better trap than Germany. Germany was not as good of a trap. I think Germany would have been more about getting out with a small profit. France was probably $100. I don't think it was dramatic. Certainly not dramatic. And it's only six and change, isn't it? Six and a quarter a tick on the euro, or is it six even? All right, oil CL 0426. I'm just trading the darn range trade normally. That's what I'm doing on oil. It's worked almost all week. This stupid trade has worked almost all week. If you look at a 30-minute oil chart, oil's kind of choppier than it's been over the past couple of days. It's a little bit bearish at the moment, but it's over 66. It hit 67. So you can't say that oil is bearish in general. It's still on a bullish trend, but right at the moment, it's a little bit more bearish than bullish because since 2 a.m., it's been selling off. All right. I think it's 1934 ticks from the low. I would prefer it go up about 10 ticks from here before we get a fill so that it can move in either direction with a little bit of space. But if I had my druthers, I'm thinking what direction would I rather be filled today if I had my druthers? Um, it's hard to say because it was bullish at 8 p.m. and it's bearish now, but it's been pulling off the low. I think I'm just going to let the trade make the decision. I'll trade it normally. And first thing is I'll set up the reverse continue. I've already got one that was set up for a different instrument. So we will do our gold, our oil reverse continue, 20 tick target, 20 tick stop. And I will continue to trade in the account that just got stopped on gold. So we are account 38. We'll get this account back this morning. So we have our reverse continue and we will label it CL reverse continue. So that's trade number one set up. CL reverse continue. And make sure that we're correct. Then we've got, why do I have two of them? Let's get rid of one of them. Oh, that's weird. Let's redo it. That's strange. Let's redo our reverse continue. One target, 20 tick target, 20 tick stop. And we said 38, and we will label it CL reverse continue. And there it is. Okay, so there it is. We'll set up our range trade, putting the MNQ on the YM now, like we do most mornings. And the markets are just selling off from the news, I would assume, right? Selling off from the news. Okay. So we have our gold range trade. If this report is coming back, it's coming back. And I still don't have faith, but I'm trading it because it's been working all week. So it's a range trade. I'm going to load my template. Go to template, go to load, oil new open range. That's what we call it. No, it's not something from Yellowstone. Now, I know that Taylor Sheridan is like the most popular, successful, famous writer in the country today. He also writes trash. Just so much. What's the word I'm looking for? I like some of what he's written, but as of late, the guy is like a cliche waiting for another cliche, waiting for another cliche. Just, I can't watch anything he writes right now. Oil new open range. I did not like much of Yellowstone. Oil new open range. Right click, rename. Today's date is the 20th. I used to like Kevin Costner 40 years ago when he did Field of Dreams. He's one of those guys that got really rich and seems to have become not such a nice guy. Personal opinion, I don't know this as a fact. Different than, say, what's his name and what's his name? The guys from the New England guys. You know who I mean. The Robin Williams movie. Come on, help me out here. What's the famous New England movie? The Gold Magnet worked, TJ? You stayed in it? Yeah, I can't tolerate Landman. I hate that show. It's such a cliche waiting for another Goodwill Hunting. Nitin, thank you. I don't know how you got that one, Nitin. That was good. Goodwill Hunting, exactly. So what's the name of the guys? You got what's his name and what's his name? They seem to be decent fellows, as rich as they've gotten, but I'm not sure about that. But Kevin Costner seems to be kind of creepy these days. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Yeah. Anyway, here's our oil trade. Let's get back to trading. Range trade. We're going to start the range at 859. One tick above the range, one tick below the range. Show the range graphics on chart. Yes. Range end 90040. 90040. The range ends. Position 1 is a 1. Position 2 is a 1. Target of 8 for target 1. Target of 20 for target 2. Stop of 15. If it hits my first target, I'm doing a BE minus 4. Doing a BE minus 4. I liked Affleck's new movie. They're FBI agents, the two of them. It's decent, not great, not great. The Rip, is that what was it called? The Rip or something like that. It was watchable. End of the range 90040, start the range 859, targets of 8 and 20, stop of 15, and we're trading it in this same account. See if we can get some money back. Turn it on. And then on the YM. Now, YM is problematic this morning. The YM is a little bit problematic. Why? It just made a new low, so we don't have a magnet to trade. It was a magnet before we got here, before we turned it on. I've got to heat this coffee up, you all. Give me half a second. I just can't bear it. It's freezing. And then we'll figure out. So our oil trade setup. Okay, sorry. It is one of the most dreary days I've ever seen. It's pouring rain. Finally, getting rid of all the disgusting snow. But there's rumors of a giant weekend storm. Well, TJ, you don't normally get snow out there, right? Yeah? I thought not. What are we going to do at YM? So, YM, I think I'll put on my magnet now. It has pulled off the low, so we can put our magnet on. High of day, low of day. proximity 3, proximity 3. Um, I like to use two contracts when there's a possibility of a long and a short magnet. When it's just a one magnet, I usually just use one. On the magnet stop, we've been using about a 55 stop, 55 to 60. So right now I'm just setting up the one contract. YM, we have our funded account. Labeling it YM. And I'm doing the default target, 3 ticks before it gets to the magnet. So let's put the account on the correct account. Turn on high of day, low of day. I'm just looking at some of the wacky signals this morning. Now, right after the news, I would have ignored the first signal. I'm just looking at the signals. Obviously, if you give yourself room to breathe, you can survive multiple tests of a level. But we do have a filter, and I just sent the programmer. He programmed something that's extremely complicated. And it's something that by the time we have our master class on the magnet, I should understand it completely. But I am hoping we have a way to do a little bit of filtering on those signals.
US effective Fed funds rate 3.64%.
No matter what, I'd rather have too many than not enough signals. I think I have to think about that. So YM, low of day, high of day magnet. I don't love the low of day so much. We're only trading one contract. It's not a very big risk. It's not a very big risk. Now, watching oil, see what happens with our oil trade. It's a little bit early to trade the YM. I might wait a little bit. Yeah, Calvin, there was, it's a good YM to buy, and there would have been a signal. And if you waited for a couple of green candles in a row, it was a decent signal. But let's say, I always like to be very honest. So I'm watching oil, and I like to talk about what would have happened if you bought the worst signal at the worst place. All right? The worst signal was the first signal, and the worst place would have been, well, you wouldn't have bought it because the candles didn't support it. You've got to have, the candle should be the right color for a long. A red candle, I don't generally buy a long, especially when it's testing the low. So, but let's say you didn't know that and you bought the signal at the worst possible place, top of the candle, which really you would not have bought it there. You should not have bought it there.
Order submitted.
It was a 67 tick move against you. So probably you would have been stopped if you bought it there. But if you waited and just bought the next signal, watching oil, you'd probably be in the trade. What do you think, Chantal? Did you trade oil? The range is small. I'm just using our 15 stop. I'm just using the traditional standard original oil open range trade. That's all I'm doing. I'm using the original trade. If it doesn't work, it's not going to work. Now the YM, I'm just waiting for the YM and the market open. It's a little early for me this morning to trade the YM. I mean, my stop's not that much bigger than, the bottom of the range. Is that what you're saying? Like 19 is your stop? 19? Yeah. Right now, it's not working. It's started to look like it was going to work. Started to look like it was going to work. Now, in a few minutes, if we're still in oil, I'll shrink it. I'll shrink it. We may not be in it. It doesn't look like, well, you never know. I'll shrink the chart and get my NQ chart ready. You didn't jinx it, TJ. Why'd you jinx it? What'd you say? I didn't see what you said. Mm, you didn't jinx it. You don't want to think that way. No, it's been working. What can you say? The trade's been working, but it won't work every day. It's definitely not going to work every day. It's always going to work best on the days I trade it the worst. Now the YM, most mornings I would, at this point in time, put the YM on auto. It's not a very big profit. That's why,
Order filled.
okay, so oil got me, so I'm going to destroy this prop account this morning. So oil did not work. Smaller stop than normal, but it's not working. It just went the opposite way. It's one of those that changed direction the minute we got in. Not, yeah, the second minute we got in. But everybody said they didn't want to trade this oil trade anymore. So I traded it because we're here. That's really the only reason I traded it. So I'm going to change that chart to my MNQ market open chart. I'm tempted to let the YM, if it's going to, I mean, it looks like it wants to make it low. It's morning. The YM's negative. What's my entry? My sell is 35. I'll let it trade. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. The YM's worked all week, every day. And I'm only on one contract. So I need to put a reverse continue on the YM. So let's do that. We'll put a reverse continue setup. $35 ticks, 35 stop. Reverse continue, we'll label it YM. And that's in our funded account also. So we have that available if we need it. And we're going to change our oil chart in 2 minutes. I want to see where oil goes in the next 2 minutes. I don't like trading oil. Isn't it? I like trading gold. Like when I get stopped on oil, it enrages me. When I get stopped on gold, it doesn't bother me at all. I don't like oil. I don't like the instrument. I don't like the way it trades. I don't feel I know the way it trades ever. Now, I'm struggling in this account this morning. Let's put on, so I'm going to trade, hang on. I'm tempted to put on an extra trade this morning. The RTY. We have two RTY opens that have been working nicely. Langford has an RTY open that's working well. Roz has an RTY. What happened to Roz this morning? Roz has an RTY that's opening. That is trade. Oh, Roz, you're here. Did I write anything down? I don't think I wrote anything down. So I need to set up my MNQ first. Let me set up my MNQ. MNQ 0326. I'm going to put a reverse continue on the chart. Change the breakout to a reverse continue. Couple of contracts. I will do 40 tick target, 75 tick stop. That's our
Order submitted.
MNQ reverse continue. MNQ reverse continue goes in our MNQ funded account labeled MNQ reverse continue. Apply it, okay it. And for the moment, I'm going to put that on our MNQ funded account. There's that. Then we have our MNQ breakout. I'm going to go to template and load it. MNQ new open is what it's called. MNQ new open. MNQ new open. Right click it to date it today. Today is the 20th. Load it. Triggering at 9:29:59. I am going to set that to temporarily 0. Bracket of 40. And we have a target of 35 and 100. Break even if it hits the first target. And the stop is 125. Right now I'm leaving it on sim. It's already labeled. I just want to see what the bracket looks like.
Order submitted. Order
And I'm going to
canceled.
get rid of the vertical line in optional. Show vertical line on entry. 9:45 we have flash manufacturing also.
Order submitted.
All
Order
right, let's get our
canceled.
time back to normal on the market open breakout. The time is 9:29:59. $9:29:59, bracket of 40, targets of 35 and 100, break even if it hits the first target. Okay, and the account needs to be on our funded account for the MNQ open, so that's ready to go. And then right after that, I have to set up a quick trap for gold. It kind of looks like the MNQ wants to test the low right now. So I could use an extra chart for gold. Let me see if I have a chart laying around. Oh, there's an extra chart. So let's make this gold. GC0426. Let's put it on 38, the account we're struggling in this morning. And we have a
Order
trap.
filled.
I think we just made our magnet. Okay, we just got our magnet winner on the YM. We didn't change, we didn't chase, we didn't do anything except wait for the target to get hit. It hit our target, another winner, magnet, YM. All right, so I'm just going to turn it off, turn it back on. Now I don't have a YM open trade because it traded my YM open. All right, so I'm just going to watch signals for a moment. Going to watch signals. I do have a reverse continue available for the YM. All right. Did anybody else trade the YM with me? People must be trading the YM with me in the morning, I would assume. They're working really well. Let's set up. We've got plenty of time. So we've got a DMM for flash manufacturing. Flash manufacturing, not a great profit center these days. It has not been moving well. And it didn't move at all in January for a trap. It's been inconsistent. It moved 94 ticks in August, and then it moved 19 the next month. It moved 75 ticks in May, and then it moved 26 the next month. So it's definitely got some trap risk because of that. How do you figure out what should be the best trap to set up? It's hard to know, right? When you've got that kind of inconsistency. So what I might do is just increase the traps a little bit. So we have a gold trap coming up. It's a 9:45 trade. So we're going to trigger 9:44.55, right? Our DMM, I'm going to use a 30 stop, 25 to 30 stop. Our DMM is, let me grab it, 30 and 45. And I think I'd rather do 30 and 55. That's what I'm going to do. Keep the same tier 1, but add 10 ticks of safety. 10 ticks of safety. A little bit extra. So 30 on tier 1, 55 on tier 2. Stop of 30, which I'll try to shrink as soon as I get an opportunity. And I'll trade it in this account that I'm blowing up this morning. We'll label it trap GC. All right. Apply it and okay it. So we have our trap trade ready to go. And we don't need this chart at the moment. All right. I need to widen it when we're ready to trade it. Right now we're getting ready for the open. YM. We got our target. It would have been maybe smarter. Look, retrospect, everybody's a monster winning trader in retrospect. We could have had a bigger target on our magnet trade this morning, and it would have worked because the YM went through the magnets. It looks like at least 20 ticks or so through the magnet, right? So we could have had a bigger target. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. We don't have to play the game, but it's just when you trade one contract, you certainly can use bigger targets if you want to. And you can move your stop to safety, right? Here's our spike sheet for flash manufacturing. So you could see no move at all in January, 24 ticks in December, 35 ticks in November. That tells us, hey, we have a good setup, 30 to 50. But then in October, it's 67 ticks. That's a problem. 94 ticks in August, 19 in September. All of a sudden, we've got an inconsistent trap trade where your 30 and 50 is blown to smithereens in August and it barely just hangs on in October. But notice there are pretty nice reversals. So I want to get filled, preferably on tier one. Preferably, well, you have to be filled on tier one if you get filled. But let's watch the open, then we'll come back to flash manufacturing. 30 and 55 on our tiers. I think it should work.
Under 10 minutes time now at the bottom of the hour.
Tariffs at 10. So that is going to monstrously move the market. I think
We'll get it out on the feed.
any tariff news, yes or no,
says the Trump
will move the market.
Running pretty close at 3%. Currently speaking on Fox Business.
So far this morning, we got, if you got up for the flash manufacturing reports and you did the traps. Did anybody do the traps on France? Nobody? Exactly as the DMM said? Did anybody? I mean, honestly, those reports have not been trading well for many months. There's a lot of reports. We're definitely going through a period where there's a lot of reports trading poorly. It's just the way it is. And I do think it's partly related to the government shutdown and the inconsistent release dates. But also, when I look at the reports that are struggling, it's reports that have struggled throughout their history. CPI, throughout its history, CPI has been a report that has never had the same setup for more than 3 months. So we're seeing reports that, the flash manufacturing, that's never been an easy report to trade ever. A lot of the major reports, traditional breakouts, have become more inconsistent. Today is a really big day in Glen Head, New York. Today, I'm so sorry it's raining and it's a crappy day. It's Stratomatic opening day. It is Stratomatic opening day. I grew up playing Stratomatic baseball as a kid, played it in my room for years and years and years. It is one of the things in my life that has given me more pleasure than anything that I can even think of. It is the most fantastic baseball board game, the best baseball board game ever invented, the best football board game ever invented. Unbelievable. But their baseball game is so phenomenal. And they have opening day where you can go to the game company, Glen Head, New York, on Long Island, and you place an order for the baseball cards. It uses real statistics, real players the season before, like last season. The new cards are just coming out now. And they have a computer game as well. I don't like their computer game. I think it's like It's like it's 1953, their computer game. It's ridiculous. But the board game is amazing. The computer game is phenomenal for keeping stats and things like that. But the board game, their baseball game, it is so much fun. If you like baseball, sitting around with another person or in a league with 8 or 9 people in a room playing Stratomatic, it's phenomenal fun. So much, so great. I can't explain it, how good it is. And they have opening day today. People come to the game company, they pick up their orders. They have a Hall of Fame. The owner of the company, who's like 80, is still really doing well and is somewhat involved still. His son runs the company now. I mean, it's just my whole life. Stratomatic has been there. It's like Procol Harum has been in my whole life. Steely Dan has been in my whole life. You know how there's certain themes that have run through your whole life, things that you love, that you've always enjoyed. Stratomatic is one of them for me, and I just can't tell you how much fun it was. I still play occasionally. Bob Costas plays. There's some very famous people that play, and it gets a lot of press. They're hanging in there as a company. A lot of things that were invented so many years ago aren't hanging in anymore. Stratomatic is hanging in, and it's opening day, and I never went to an opening day, and I used to live on Long Island, and I just think about how much fun it was. Watching the MNQ, we're getting ready for our open. So I don't really, you can put a YM magnet back on now. You can do a high of day, low of day magnet almost again on the YM. It's pulled off 13. It's only 33 ticks. I'm probably going to take my money and just leave it as a winner today on the YM. I'll trade my MNQ, and then we'll trade Flash Manufacturing on a trap on gold. And then we have a revised University of Michigan, which is really not a well performing report. It's another weird trap. One minute to the open.
1 minute now until we get the markets on open imbalance.
I think doing another magnet on the YM open is not bad. Let's watch it, see what happens. It's too late now. You would have had to put it on before the open. You would have had to have the orders. You'd want the orders on before it made this move down. All right, 30 seconds to the open. Blessed Prophets. Good name. Good name. Blessed Prophets. Cursed Prophets. That's another name. Curse those prophets. 10 seconds to the open. Good morning.
10 seconds.
Here we go. See what happens on the MNQ. Just watching the YM. We had an
Order
early,
submitted.
a little bit early on the trade.
Markets on open imbalance. S&P 500.
Order
I
submitted.
think I would have rather have been traded long, short on the NQ.
Mag 7, sell side 5.
Yeah, we're getting stopped on our
Order
first
filled.
NQ, MNQ in 100 years. That's the first stop on an MNQ open, and the YM second magnet was perfect. Would have been perfect. So that's the first stop in a long time on the MNQ. I did not want to get filled long. I shouldn't have allowed it. YM is pushing down through the low. Now we do have to get ready for gold. Flash Manufacturing. Trump hosts governors at White House breakfast. Okay. Gold looks like it's getting ready to make another new high. There was the gold magnet that we were talking about this morning. Gold went from that VWAP. Remember what we said? Remember we were talking in the room and we said the VWAP. Now I am turning off my MNQ. Look, the MNQ doesn't work every single day, but I need a kick. I need something in that account. I need an extra trade in that funded account, or I need to trade a full-size instrument. Francis, you're cash, so your fill could be totally different than mine. It could be totally different. What was your fill? What was your fill? Long or short? I have no expectation of what gold is going to do from here. It's up $71. I was filled long, Francis. I was filled long. So my bracket's a little bit bigger. I used a 40 bracket. So that would explain it. That would explain it. Gold has already gone up, but gold's going to probably respond to the flash manufacturing news. So it recently made a new high today. I mean, it's already up. So YM, it would not have been a bad idea to trade that magnet twice. It would have worked beautifully. I'm going to put gold on that YM chart and trade the trap trade. So my gold trap, what do we say? 30 and 55 on the tiers. 30 and 55 on the tiers. So I don't need this chart at the moment. We've got the news. So we'll set up the trap. It looks like there would have been a great signal on the MNQ, would have had a great signal um, to go long on the MNQ after it made the low. There was an excellent signal. I don't need to see the signal to know that our software would have generated the signal. 100% a signal would have generated for a winning trade right there. I can prove it in a minute. The trap on gold, let's get that set up. First things first, let's turn it into gold, 0426. Going to put on a reverse continuation trade. One contract, 35 ticks, 35 stop. And I'm still working on this messed up account.
10 minutes time now at 9:45
Struggling on this one
Eastern Time,
account.
the US S&P
GC
manufacturing
reverse
PMI February
continue.
prelim. Forecast 52.4 on the prior 52.4 with a range of 53.1 to 51.5.
So we've got our
Services
gold
forecast
reverse
53 on the prior
continue.
52.7 with a range of 53.5 to 52.
Darn,
And
this
composites
MNQ.
forecast 53.1 on the prior 53. Keep in mind, we're also expecting comments from Fed's Bostic, who's participating in a moderated discussion with the editor of the Birmingham Business Journal.
See you,
As
Roz.
expected, there is a Q&A.
Nice trades.
It appears
Nice
it is an
trades.
in-person only paid event.
We have a gold trap coming up. Turning on the trap. It's a 9:45 event. So 9:44:55 is our trigger time. The stop, I'm putting a 30 stop on. Tier 1 is 30. 55 on tier 2, labeling it trap GC, trading it in this account that's been getting crushed this morning. Darn, I should have put our magnet signals on the NQ. Maybe that's the way I'll do it in the morning. Well, I don't know where that I heard that 70% of the time. Heard from where? That's not good trading advice. I heard, right? What does that mean? Where'd you hear that? ICT. Okay. There you go. There you go. The word of God. The word of God. ICT. We have some ICT followers.
Trump says he's considering a limited strike on Iran.
All right.
This is per the Wall Street Journal piece we heard last night. But now Trump,
944.55 on the
speaking at the White
trigger.
House,
Stop of
confirming that he
30.
is considering a limited strike on Iran. We have
30
the live
and
video for Trump on the feed for
55.
those interested.
Trump says, I'm
The
considering a
weakness in the
limited strike on
WTI crude off
Iran.
that Trump headline there.
Jesus. Now you have to be careful whether or not you want to trade at all right now. Now you got to really be careful when those kind of comments are being made. 944.55. Stop at 30. I may not trade depending on if there's any more comments like that. Tier 1 is 30. Tier 2 is 55. Hang on, folks. I have to take this. Hello? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm in the room, but yeah, it's fine. He can come now. 20 minutes will be fine. Okay. Bye. Sorry, folks. We got something being repaired here, and I may have to let someone in. It is what it is. So we have a gold trap. I hope it doesn't happen when I'm in the middle of a trade. So we have a gold trap right here. All right. As long as I can see the cancel outer tier button, I'm okay. Cancel outer tier. That's the button I want to see on the trap. We've got the news here. All right. That's the news. We can leave the news down here so it's not in the way. Now we've got about 5 minutes before this takes place. Let me see
It's time now at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time. We get
if
the US
Trump is still
S&P
talking.
manufacturing PMI February prelim. Forecast 52.4
I'm not
for
seeing him on the
2025,
news
with a
anywhere.
range of 53.1 to 51.5. Services forecast 53 on the prior 52.7, with a range of 53.5 to 52. And the composite PMI forecast 53.1 on the prior 53. Keep in mind as well, in 5 minutes' time, we're expecting comments from the Fed's boss stick. No
GDP
changes
had a
expected, but there will be a
pretty
Q&A.
decent sized short move. This particular report has not been moving all that much, flash manufacturing. But the 8:30 news GDP with the
As for
PCE price
Trump's
index
breakfast meeting with the
moved the market
governors,
pretty
we
well.
did have a live video, but it appears that has stopped showing. There does not seem to be any alternatives either. Perhaps they have kicked media out of the room.
So there are no more Trump comments at the moment and no news feeds at the moment. Now, I want to trade this in 38. I want to make sure I'm watching the right account. If you watch the wrong account, you won't see the orders. So that's the important thing about trading the right account on your chart trader. Chart trader. Now I do have the ability to take a reverse continuation on the MNQ. It sure looks like it wants to test the high.
Order submitted. Order filled.
And I need a bigger stop and target. I need a bigger stop and target. That hit my target in 1 second.
Order submitted.
I want my stop below the PP, and I want my target up near the high for a scalp. If it makes it, it makes it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If it gets close, I'll probably just take it because I got to concentrate on this gold trade. Let's see. I can move my stop to safety so I can't lose. Move my target. Well, no, don't go back. Don't go down. Don't go down. Go up. Go up. Go up. Go up. Go up. Go up.
Order filled.
All right, we still made money on that. 2 small scalps. Watching gold over here on that trap trade. Minton, what do you mean? We're still streaming on YouTube. We've been streaming for quite a few hours. I'll stream until this report is over, everyone, and then we'll close our YouTube stream and we'll stick around till Revise University of Michigan. It's also with new homes. That's a tricky one. A little bit of extra news there. New homes. New homes by itself sometimes can move the markets. So we have 1 minute. We're going to have a trap trade on this chart. We're going to have a trap trade on that chart. Now it can blow up that account. It can blow up that prop account. Or it could just not blow it up, it could damage it for the day. I'm a little bit concerned about the behavior of gold right now. Our tiers might be too small. They just might be too small. I'm definitely worried. I'm going to let the darn thing trade. I don't have time to make the tiers bigger.
10 seconds.
I'm going to let it trade. But that was quite a big burst.
Order submitted.
That was quite the burst.
Order
Okay,
canceled.
there's the news. It's short.
53. Manufacturing 51.2.
Now it's only filled 1 tier. It hasn't filled the second tier yet. The problem is gold
Order filled.
is bullish. Gold is bullish. That's the problem. If it would reverse, I'm using a big fat stop. If it'll reverse, we have 2 orders that we've got. If it doesn't reverse, it's going to really damage this account. If we get a reversal here. Now the news is negative. It should reverse. The news is negative. We should get a reversal. We should get a reversal. We're nowhere near. We've made the new high. I think the odds, if we can survive here, we're going to get a reversal. I really think if we can survive, I think it should reverse. If it keeps going up, it's going to blow the account. I'm pretty darn far. From the high. I think we get a reversal here. We're $80 up on gold. $80 up. I think we get a reversal. Let's see what happens. It's either going to work or gold is going to go to the moon. The news is in our favor on gold pulling back a little bit. We don't need a gigantic pullback. I don't need a gigantic pullback.
So Trump is to travel to China from March 31st to April 2nd, according to a White House official.
But it's just not doing it. It's just not doing it. Come on. Let's go. Pull back.
The US
Pull back off the high.
On the feed for those interested.
Pull back off the high. At this point, I'm probably just going to let it work. We've got 2 orders short. We have a 10 o'clock report. This should be over before that. If it isn't, I would stay in the trade. Whatever's going to happen, I would just let it happen at this point. It does not want to reverse. Gold, gold is so bullish, folks. It's so bullish. It's not easy. Gold is $80 positive today, but are we going to have another $100 day, or is this news? Now, it's negative news, so it's not so negative that it should push gold through the roof. Negative news usually pushes gold up. Negative news usually pushes gold up. The news is a little bit negative. So I misspoke. I did misspeak. Now, we are getting a little bit of a reversal. We could take one target if we didn't have a frozen order, right? Let's see if we now get, we made a new high. We should reverse a little bit more off of this new high. That's what I think. That's what I think. I have to let this guy in. Oh my God. Come in, follow me, follow me. I'm in the middle of something. No, it's okay.
Recovers from opening losses, last up around 0.2%.
That door, when it gets very cold, I can't open it. Now it's working. The screen door. The screen door. Hey guys. So I'm still waiting on gold to reverse here. So I'd like it to hit our first target. Hit my first target, and I'll move my stop to safety.
In 10 minutes time now, at the top of the hour, do you see the release of the University of Michigan Sentiment February final read? Forecast 57.3, unchanged from the prior, with a range of 58 to 53.8. New inflation forecast 3.
You see, I'm trying, folks, to grab $250, which would be 100 and a quarter. One position.
Expectations forecast 56.6.
Give me that reversal. Give me the reversal. Come on. It just won't go down. So I'm going to combine. Well, maybe not. Here we go. It didn't fill it. It did not fill it.
Order filled.
Moving my stop to safety. Expanding the target. Now I'll trail. Now I'll trail. Now I can't lose. Now I can't lose. A little bit worried about orders freezing. Okay.
Order canceled.
All right. So we made about a couple of $100. A couple of $100 on that trade. Couple of $100. All right. We have another trap trade coming up. Another trap trade. All right. Now, of course, it's going to go down 80 million ticks. 10
Just
o'clock,
to clarify this, then,
there's another
on the
trade.
Supreme Court's matter at least, this is the
Yeah,
Supreme Court's
it puts
opinion day
4
today.
orders
Of course,
on.
they could
It
be
puts
releasing
4 orders
opinions
on.
about many
Let
things.
me just speak
Could
to
be
the guy
the
that's here
government
for
shutdown,
1
could be
second,
something
folks, and I'll be
completely
back in
unrelated,
half a second.
could be the tariffs again. There's no indication at this point.
I'm sorry.
So we'll just have to wait and see the updates of the opinions from the
So
Supreme Court
it
once they're
seems like,
finished.
yeah, I could see that it's sticking at the bottom in particular, yeah.
Yeah, this thing has wood at the bottom inside
Okay.
this, so maybe we can take it off. I can trim it.
Okay, whatever you think you need to do, I'm
Okay.
sure Ray is,
Okay, I'll follow up. Okay.
okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Fed's Bostic says developers across the board say it is hard to find the
Thank you very much.
homes that are demanded, leading to higher prices.
Okay, so we have a trap trade for the next trade also. So let me show you the DMM and the spike sheet. So here's a spike sheet for University of Michigan. And I think that we're just going to get plenty of chop out of gold on this next report also. And we have new homes in there as well, which should create more of a move than normal. I'd rather be filled on the long side, okay? Rather be filled on the long side. Why? Because gold is so bullish, okay? Gold is so bullish. It's up 82 bucks. So I'm going to do gold on the left chart, left. I'm going to change, get rid of my gold, get rid of my MNQ. It's easier to trade it on the left, okay? It's just easier to see it for me. So let me set it up. So GC 0426 will give one more trap trade a shot. Look, it's making a new high now. Gold is really, I don't think I want to be filled short. Although, look, if it's making the new high, then we could get the same thing that happens and we can pull back off the high and have a winning trade. So it's not the end of the world that it's making a new high. But you got to be willing to expand your stop double what it was initially. I expanded my stop very much so I wouldn't get stopped out because I was willing to wait for the reversal and I was willing to blow up the account, okay? You don't have to trade this because
in 5 minutes time now at the top of the
it's
hour,
hard to know
University of
what kind of
Michigan
movement we're going to get
final
when
read
gold's
for
making
February.
new highs.
Forecast
It's up 80
57.3
bucks.
on the
You could
price,
see the risk.
57.3,
There's
with
plenty of
range
risk.
58
I'm using a 30 tick
1-year inflation forecast 3.5%,
stop.
unchanged
All right.
from the
I'm
prior.
using a 30
5-year
tick
inflation
stop.
forecast 3.4%, unchanged from the prior. Conditions forecast 58 on the
And
prior.
we do have a
And
setup.
expectations forecast 56.6, unchanged from the
This
prior.
report
Let's
has
get
started
US new home
moving
sales units
quite a
for
bit.
December. Forecast 0.73
So
million
our
on the
tiers
prior,
are even
0.737
bigger.
million,
All right.
unchanged month over month.
Tiers are bigger.
Forecast at 0%
40.
minus 0.5.
I'm going to use 45 and 75. Okay. 45 and 75. Stop of 30. See if we can get a little bit more money back from that prop account that we, have lost some money on this morning. Trap gold. And so we'll trade that account again. See if we can get this working. All right, so we have our trap. The stop is 30. The tiers are 45 and 75. 45 and 80, 45 and 80. Stop 39, 59, 55 on the trigger. See, it's gonna pull back when it gets to the high. It is the nature of the beast. It's a question of, can you survive the testing of the high until it pulls back? Now we need a reverse continue on gold. Now we're getting a good pullback. Let's see what happens. It's going to respond to the news. There should be a news response. I did want my MNQ chart, but I don't have a setup on this chart for the MNQ. I don't know if I have enough time to set it up. We'll see. This is on the other chart. Let's put a gold reverse continue on the trap trade chart. All right, reverse continue. Position 1, target of 35, stop of 35. It's just a discretionary trade. If the opportunity presents itself, label it GC reverse continue. So we have a trap and we have our gold reverse continue. Why do I have two of them? Let's see. That's why. Okay, this is the correct one. This is to be edited. That's now an MNQ chart. So we'll edit this reverse continue from regular gold. We'll add a position and we'll up the stop to 75 and we'll up our target to 75 ticks on the MNQ. And I'm putting that in my NQ open funded account at the moment, which we should have used as a magnet signal reader. Remember I said that I was going to prove the signals work?
Financial Times, Iran is preparing deal proposals for the US, according to their foreign minister. So Iran's foreign minister says he hoped to have a proposal for a nuclear deal with the US in the coming days, hours after Trump warned Tehran to make a deal within 15 days or face bad things. So again, FT reporting Iran preparing a deal proposal for the US.
Let's see if we get
Less
signals
1 minute to go now
on the
data.
MNQ.
The University of Michigan sentiment.
Yeah, see? If we would have traded the open, after the open, the signal
The FT article on the
was right after the open. It was right after the open. That was...
Voice news disconnected.
It might have been an interesting... we got to watch this trap, okay? We're just watching signals here. That's all I'm doing.
10 seconds.
Here come our orders.
Submitted.
I'm on the wrong darn chart. Here we go.
56 spot 6, 56 spot 6, lower than forecast, 57 spot 3. 1 year inflation at 3 spot 4%, 3 spot 4%, lower than forecast, 3 spot 5.
The news
5 year
is
inflation
worse
at 3
than
spot 3%, 3
expected,
spot
which
3%,
should push
lower
gold
than forecast,
up.
3 spot 4%.
I don't really want to take this trade, I don't think.
as
But we're
expected.
made new high.
Conditions,
We're at new
56
highs.
spot 6, lower than
It
forecast,
could still
58.
it could hit the new high in reverse. All
US
right.
new home sales units 0 spot
Could hit the new
745
high in
million,
reverse.
0.745 million.
New homes
Higher than forecast,
are
0.73 million.
Order
The change
canceled.
at
okay.
minus
So
1
now we're filled
7%,
long
minus 1
one
7%,
position.
lower than forecast 0%.
One position. 250. Cancel the outer
Order
tier.
canceled.
Move the stop to safety. Can't lose money now, no matter what. If it reverses on me, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna make about $100. If it'll go up now, I'll trail. I will trail if it'll go up. The news is negative. It should push up. But we've made so many new highs. I just don't know how many more it
Order
can make.
canceled.
Bingo. We went from $800 down. That was $1,000 winner
US Supreme Court issues a
$1,000
ruling
winner.
in challenge to the
All right?
legality of Trump's global
$1,000
tariffs.
winner.
So again, the US Supreme Court issues a ruling in challenge to the legality of
Because
Trump's
it
global tariffs.
bursted so
Supreme
beautifully
Court
in our
rules against
direction.
Trump's global tariffs enacted under a
I
federal law
truly
meant for
think
national
that my
emergencies.
analysis
So
was
again, the US
excellent.
Supreme Court
I
rules
think my
against Trump's
analysis was
global
excellent.
tariffs
What's
enacted
going
under a federal
on
law meant
is
for
there may
national
be a
emergencies.
war
Look at the
averted.
markets, weakness in
We
the
may
dollar,
have
strength in the
no
S&P
war.
500 here.
That's
So
what's
again, that's
going
the US
on.
Supreme Court ruling against
Oh,
Trump's tariffs.
tariffs against. Tariffs against. Of course it's against. It's illegal for the president to make his own tariffs, especially when they're insane. I cannot believe that the Supreme Court didn't make up some BS crazy reason not to go against Trump. Amazing. Tariffs are illegal. Anybody knows it. Anybody knows it. He should be impeached. It's time to get rid of this guy. It's enough damage. The whole world has been damaged. And it's time to go. Time to go. Epstein, it's enough. It's enough. I've had enough.
So short-term interest rate futures contracts are falling after the Supreme Court's tariff ruling.
Hold
Again,
on.
strength coming through in the S&P 500. Dollar saw a bit of a whipsaw there. Bond yields saw a movement towards the upside
Wait.
as well. Again, Treasury yields rising after the Supreme Court strikes down tariffs.
Tariffs struck down. Tariffs illegal. Calvin, what are you talking about? They're illegal. Illegal. Not legal. Illegal. It's in the laws. All you have to do is read the laws. It has nothing to do with anything except the law. I don't think there was any possible way for them to do anything else. And that's why it took them so long. That's why it took them so long. Yes, I have. Yes. They're not illegal. They're not illegal. That's not what I'm saying. They have to be done in a certain way. That's the issue. Isn't that the issue? Not whether they're illegal, how they are placed is the issue. It's not just the whim of some random
The
person.
Supreme Court rules 6-3 against Trump on
That's not
US
how it
global
works.
tariffs.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, next week
Gold
it'll be
pairs
something
gains
else
after the
crazy.
SCOTUS ruling. Last
We
up
need
around
an end to this
spot 5%.
craziness. I've had enough. I've had enough. I have had enough. You're right. They're not illegal. They're not correct the way that they were done. That's the ruling.
So according
That's the
to
ruling.
US officials,
Tariffs are
US
not
military
illegal.
is planning on Iran highly advanced with options ranging from targeting individuals to pursuing
There you go.
regime change.
All right. All right. We agree on that. We agree on that. Let's talk about this trade.
Traders now see the Fed waiting until
The
July
analysis
to cut rates.
was, first of all, you can't count any of the behavior that took place after that announcement. That behavior is news reaction. But before the tariff announcement, we made a significant amount of money on that report because our analysis worked. That's the honest truth. We had made new highs. We got a change in direction, and we were lucky enough to get filled in the proper direction on that trade, which was long. And then price burst up and made a new high. Now, maybe we got lucky too, and that it was that maybe we were caught in that news in the first reaction to the news. I think it's possible because that was quite a big burst up. It gave us $1,000 profit. It turned that prop account, which was $800 negative when we started these trap trades, to being 300 positive now. So our whole day wound up being positive. 6-3, Calvin, is pretty serious. That means some pretty conservative people are against the way Trump is doing tariffs. So it's very big news. It's very big news. Gold it's amazing the movement we're seeing in gold. I mean, it's probably going to test this low, but it's very, very volatile, and you could lose $1,000 in the blink of an eye. It's going to test it probably right now, but it could move 100 ticks against you before it hits the low.
So we have posted out the link to the Supreme Court's opinion on tariffs on the feed for those who are interested.
I'm just watching gold for a minute. I want to see it test that low before we go. I want to see if it does. That's an amazing move. It is based on news, but it doesn't matter. It's still an amazing move.
Supreme Court does not address the eligibility for tariff refunds.
It's 848 ticks. 848 ticks. It moved.
So hundreds of tariff refund lawsuits are pending in the US Trade Court now, but the Supreme Court does not address the eligibility for tariff refunds.
788 ticks. 788 ticks in one move over 4 minutes. 4 minutes, it moves 788 ticks. That's something else. That is something else. So the whole thing with tariffs is the whole thing with a lot of things is there are systems in place. There are systems in place. That's the big deal. That's the big deal. Hang on one second. He left. He said he'll be in touch. He knows how to fix it. Has to take the door off and do some sanding. I don't think it's all that big of a deal. When it gets cold, the wood expands for some reason. All right. I mean, the chaos that gets created from this ruling is not a good thing. That's not good. You'll have to check with him on that. He can come back whenever he wants.
Fed's Bostic says businesses and surveys say that they expect to roll more tariff costs into prices this year. Strategies to avoid that have run out.
I'm just watching the price for a minute, folks, but I guess we're done here. Nitin, you're cracking me up, man. You made 6,000 accidentally. So you had to lose 4.5. Did you lose the 4.5? Everybody on YouTube, I want to thank you very much for watching and being here. And I'm going to close the YouTube stream. We've been streaming for hours. All right. And I'll see everybody on YouTube on Monday. So thank you for joining us. Hit the notification bell.
So zooming in a bit, looking to the markets following the Supreme Court